and welcome to Homestead-Miami Speedway for the Ford EcoBoost 400, the championship finale of the Verizon NASCAR Cup Series Season 7. Entering today, 3 drivers have a chance at the championship, and those 3 we will have a look at in a moment. So, these 3 drivers being, the guy we're currently looking at, Parker Kligerman, is in 3rd in standings, 35 points back. 35 points back on leader.
Start your engines!
Command to fire the engines. Second driver is Kevin Harvick in Seed 2, who is 18 back, and championship leader Jimmie Johnson currently starting back there. So, a look at your starting lineup. Starting on pole will be Ricky Stenhouse Jr. In second is championship contender Parker Kligerman. In third will be William Byron. In fourth, Aric Almirola. Fifth, Daniel Suarez. Sixth, Kevin Harvick. Seventh is Landon Castle. 8th is Jones. 9th is Elliott. 10th is Blaney. 11th is Keselowski. 12th is Ragan. 13th is Bowman. 14th is Martin Truex Jr. 15th is Chris Buescher. 16th is Kyle Larson. 17th is Matt DiBenedetto. 18th is Hamlin. 19th is Bowyer. And rounding out the field in 20th is the championship leader, Jimmie Johnson. And we will have a quick look at your championship contenders. So that'll do it for the look at the championship contenders. Meanwhile, pace car peels off as we head down the front stretch. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Parker Kligerman lead us to the green. Final race of the season in the Verizon NASCAR Cup Series. We are green to round off Season 7. Big stack up at the front of the field to start the race. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., your race leader, leads lap number 1 from the pole. Meanwhile, most of the field running single file with a couple guys trying to switch positions. Here they go off turn number 2. Stenhouse leads. Kligerman holds on to 2nd in front of Suarez. Off into turn number 3 they go. Close battle at the front of the field. A lot of spread out lanes. People trying to run up high, down low. 4 wide almost in the middle of the field. Jimmie Johnson is still caught up in all of this and is running last. Not a good start to the final race for the championship leader, and he doesn't have much of a buffer over 2nd place Kevin Harvick entering this race. Down the backstretch they go. Stenhouse leads over Kligerman. 3rd currently is Suarez, but it looks like it's about to be William Byron. Most of the field is quite stacked up there. Jimmie Johnson trying to make up positions. Currently Kevin Harvick losing a lot of spots. Kligerman looks like if the field finished where they were right now, Kligerman would definitely be in prime position to win the championship. But the race definitely isn't over. We're only a couple laps in, on lap 4 right now. And Byron is sideways in the middle field. Saves it, and Ragan in the wall. Harvick, championship contender involved. First caution of the day. They will not wreck again. That is going to be the first caution. With Ragan in the wall and Kevin Harvick, championship contender in the second seed, is involved in that crash. Stenhouse still leading. Now I want to check quickly if they will pit under this caution or not. It looks like they're going to. Yep, they're heading down the access road. Will anybody else stay out? And Jimmie Johnson, championship leader, has heavy damage. What in the world happened? They wrecked under caution coming off. Bowman caused that one, spun around Larson, and Johnson just nowhere to go. Controversy at Homestead. And Jimmie Johnson, championship leader, looks to me like he might be out of this race. And Kevin Harvick also has damage, so Kligerman looks to be in prime position to win this championship. As everyone pulls into their pit stalls. Who takes what on pit road? Four-tire call for the number 17 and for the 96. Basically 4 tires for everyone. So that'll complete the pit cycle. And let's get a look at what happened under that to cause this first caution. So as they round off turn number 4, you can see Byron sideways up front, but that doesn't have anything to do with this. Ooh, that's interesting. So Ragan clears up in front of Harvick, but then for some reason he goes back down the racetrack after moving up. He was clear, but he moves up and then goes back up the racetrack, turns himself into the wall. Harvick doesn't take too much damage, and we will ride on board with him to get a look at what happened. Let's have a look. Yeah, Harvick really didn't do that much wrong, just kept his foot in it, kept the wheel straight. Ragan was just slowing up in front of him. Not what he wants for that to happen. And you can see Johnson, the championship leader who we looked at, got involved in a crash under caution earlier. Heavy damage to the front of that 48. Johnson technically isn't out of the championship yet, but he does have damage, and just that 48, things are looking bleak, even though he did get a bunch of race wins and has a chance at this championship and was leading the points. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to hold it. Preparing to go green again here at Homestead, so Ricky Stenhouse Jr. continuing to lead. Led every lap so far, but Kligerman is right behind him and looks like he might be able to challenge. Pace car peeling onto pit road. And we are back racing again. Good restart for the top 2. Pulling away from Castle. Here comes Kligerman to the inside with a real good restart. Third seed driver Parker Kligerman will go to the lead on the inside. Can Castle maybe get second? It looks like he's going to try to do it. Not quite there. Stenhouse with a bit of a chop block. As we look further back in the field, Johnson, who has damage, is actually still not that far off the pace. He is a little off the pace, but not as far as you'd expect as they go off into turn 3. Johnson is desperately trying to block the lanes. Harvick and Johnson, things are looking quite bleak for them. Johnson still blocking both lanes. Truex is going to get to his inside, though. Meanwhile, for the lead, Stenhouse still loses the lead and is falling back slowly on the outside. Back there, Johnson will he get turned or dumped for doing this? He has been blocking the field quite a bit. Where will Almirola go? Almirola still cannot get to the inside. Will he try to move the 48? He's been riding his bumper. That 10 is not happy. Harvick doesn't seem that far off the pace. He's just stuck behind the slower cars, which still isn't exactly great. Meanwhile, Kligerman loses the lead now, and now Landon Cassill takes the lead. DiBenedetto in second with Bowman and Suarez going for third. Off into, four wide. Keselowski with an aggressive move on the inside. And that is Kligerman, championship contender, stuck up high. With nowhere to go when they wreck! Around goes Kligerman, championship contender involved. And he hits the 17 again. Disaster for Parker Kligerman. And they wreck again. Around goes Larson and Buescher as well. Second caution of the day. And Kligerman, who thought he might be in the best possible position to win the championship, finds himself in the wall down the backstretch. Second caution, Aric Jones is there as well, and Cassill will take the lead with DiBenedetto second. Terrible news for championship contender Kligerman. And the controversy continues, and now Kevin Harvick looks like he might be the one that's in the best possible position to win the championship. Disaster for Kligerman, and it doesn't look like he's going to pit either. Kligerman stays out too. What in the world? So, that was an interesting way for that to happen. So let's have a look. Keselowski started all of it. Obviously, all of this started when Keselowski made an aggressive move to make it 4 wide going into turn number 1. And then, as they came off of turn 2, they could have kept it straight, but Keselowski just comes up the racetrack, it looks like. He just opened up the wheel way too soon, and that ruined it for them. He's there on the inside. There's not that much room, but then he just starts tracking up. And around they go. And then Kligerman probably could have been fine had he not done this. Drove directly into Stenhouse. And that destroyed his engine. So that's how that caution came out, and we will see what happens on the restart, which we will get to right now. Ready to go green once again in the Ford EcoBoost 400. Landon Cassill leading with DiBenedetto second, Suarez third, Hamlin fourth, and Bowyer fifth. Or not Bowyer, Bowman. Anyways, preparing to go green into the restart zone. Green flag once again. Harvick to the inside of Blaney down there. Ooh. That 24 is looking really aggressive, laying on the bumper of the 4. And he's looking to almost dump him. Harvick saves it. His championship just flashed before his eyes, and he saves it. Good save for the 4 car. Now the thing is, if Harvick wrecks, then technically Johnson's probably in the best place to win the championship. But that's looking less and less likely as Johnson falls back and Harvick starts to clear traffic. Down into turn number 3. Castle still leading over to Benedetto, and then... Whoa, Bowman dumps the 95! Around goes to Benedetto! Suarez involved as well. Third caution of the day. No need to go back and look at what happened there. That was just a flat-out dump by the 88. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that's the second wreck he's caused. Third caution. And neither of those guys are championship contenders. So 2 innocent bystanders who are just looking to finish this race, Suarez and De Benedetto, both wrecked in the corner. Johnson going down pit road, as is Almirola. So Almirola leads them down. Johnson pitting as well, as is Elliott, and Suarez goes down. But De Benedetto stays on track. Anyways, acceleration to the green. We'll be back in just a moment. So it is official. Daniel Suarez is now out of this race. Will be the first DNF of the final race of the season. We will have, 18 to go on the restart? No. Let's see. Yeah, 18 to go on the restart. Anyways, excuse my, death of my brain there for a moment. So, Castle leads with Bowman in second. Third is Jones, fourth is Blaney, and rounding out the top 5 will be Denny Hamlin. Entering the restart zone, Green is back out, racing again at Homestead. Into turn number 1, Hamlin with a good restart to go for 4th on Blaney. Harvick's hung up high. You know, although he took a pretty good thunk to the front, that 96 doesn't look all that slow. He is off the pace, but it isn't as bad as one might think it would be with that much front-end damage. Although he is getting held up by Stenhouse right now. Down the front stretch. Harvick really only needs to finish this race ahead of Johnson and he needs to finish a couple positions ahead of Johnson, but that seems like it might be pretty easy considering Johnson is quite a ways off the pace. And around goes Kligerman! His championship hopes that were left going up in smoke! Around he goes on the backstretch, just got dumped! No caution either! Let's see what just happened to Kligerman. Almirola had it with the 96, holding him up, and just turns him down the backstretch, into the inside wall hard. And it looks like he is probably going to go to pit road and retire the car. Meanwhile, Alex Bowman will take the lead with 11 to go. A wild race at Homestead to round off this season. Here comes Aric Jones to the inside to try to take the race lead. Harvick's championship hopes continue to look better and better. He, quite honestly, even though he only has won one race so far this season, Harvick has pretty much dominated this season, consistency-wise, and has been at the top of the standings for over half of the season, and led the standings for probably about an 8-race stretch at around race 10 to race 18, and only lost it because Johnson won a couple races in a row. But bad luck strikes for both of the other championship contenders, and that looks like it's going to ruin their days. And also their seasons. Although a good recovery for both of them. A good recovery for both of them, though, as both of them were towards the bottom of the standings at the start of the season. Meanwhile, Aric Jones still leading over teammate Denny Hamlin in second. Bowman gets back in line in third. And he looks like he's going to try to pass Hamlin for second. With less than 10 to go currently. 8 to go at the line. 8 more laps left in Season 7 of the Verizon NASCAR Cup Series. The championship hopes of Jimmie Johnson and Parker Kligerman going up in smoke in today's race. Johnson looked to be one of the championship favorites, but if I'm honest, Harvick probably was going to be more of the championship favorite, considering that he has been the most consistent over the season. Has quite a few top 10s and top 5s. Meanwhile, still battling for the race lead, with only 7 to go now. Through turns 1 and 2. Joe Gibbs Racing running 1-2 right now, and their other Joe Gibbs car of Martin Truex Jr. running back in 5th. Rounding 3 and 4. All of these guys basically just want to round off this season with a checkered flag in their hand. Truex specifically probably wants to heal the pain. He could have been in the championship contention, but just bad luck over a couple of races recently screwed those hopes. Kevin Harvick is struggling to even run in the top 10. Yet, that's enough to win the championship at this point, I think, because Johnson is running all the way back in 16th. And Harvick was only 18 points behind entering this race. Anyways, Bowman trying to pass Jones for the lead, but can't quite get there, even though he was even with him in 3 and 4. Loses out. Truex trying to gain spots. And it looks like Truex is going to pass teammate Hamlin for 3rd. And Truex looks like he's going for more. Can he get Bowman? No, he cannot stay side by side with the 88, but he did have a good run at him. With 5 to go currently, and it will be 4 to go this time by. Four more laps left in this season. It's been quite a wild championship battle. At first, it looked like Chase Elliott was a top championship contender. And then Kevin Harvick, with his consistency, stole the show around the halfway mark. Whoa! Truex sideways! In the grass is the 19! It looks like he is going to gather it back up, just about. Brad Keselowski pulling into pit road, as is Buscher. So that is going to be 2 more positions gained for Johnson. Could Johnson maybe still hold on to this championship? I don't know. Either way, as I was saying, Harvick stole the show just before the halfway mark and never looked back until a couple races ago when Jimmie Johnson won 2 races in a row and took the points lead, entering the final race. And Kligerman also recovered around the mid-season mark and challenged Harvick since that point. But both of their hopes look to have gone up in smoke at the end of this season. DeBenedetto down pit road, Stenhouse down pit road as well. What in the world is going on? Multiple cars running out of gas. Johnson up into 12th. Could Johnson possibly even still have a chance at this championship? It looks like it might be possible. Johnson is up in 12th. Is that enough? Harvick looks like he might be running now 8th, but here comes Bowyer. White flag. The battle for the win is on between Bowman and Jones. Who will get the win at the final race of the season? Down the backstretch for the final time. Can Jones get the checkers from Bowman in the final 2 corners? He's there, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough. Alex Bowman is going to hold on to this win, but I believe, and we might have, and it looks like Harvick might be able to win his 2nd championship. But was it enough? Checkered flag in the final race of this season. The question is, was that enough to win the championship? I think it was. That will do it for Homestead. So we wait for the final drivers to finish the race. Let me just accelerate. And let's have a look. 6 points! Jimmie Johnson holds on to the championship! By 6 points over Kevin Harvick. I thought Harvick had the championship locked up with that position, but it wasn't enough. Jimmie Johnson, out of nowhere at the end of this season, manages to hold on to the title by 6 points over Kevin Harvick. And he steals the championship away from the man who was trying to get his 2nd championship this season. Well, not as in this season, but he was trying to get his 2nd championship by winning it this season, you know what I mean. Anyways, an unbelievable end to this season. I thought Jimmie Johnson's hopes had gone up in smoke, but it looks like I was wrong. With his 3-win tally at the end of the season, the most wins out of any of these drivers, and he grabs his 1st title over Harvick and Kligerman. What a way to end this season. That was something I didn't expect. I thought that Harvick, where he was finishing, would end up getting the points he needed to win the championship, but he loses out by 6 points. 6 points. And the man who looked like he would be the guy that had the best chance to win the championship, since Harvick and Johnson both wrecked out, or not wrecked out, but got damaged and wrecked, got involved in wrecks. It looked like Kligerman was in the best place to win the championship, but then he got involved in a wreck, and that just threw a monkey wrench into the whole thing. That is all there is left in that season. What a story on exactly 2,900 points. Exactly 2,900 points. Jimmie Johnson beats out the veteran, Kevin Harvick, who was going for his 2nd title. Beats him by 6 points, which is the closest margin in any season of the Verizon NASCAR Cup Series. The last closest was 14 points between Kyle Busch and Kyle Larson in season 4, I think. Either way, that is all there is left in the Verizon NASCAR Cup Series Season 7. Thank you all for staying with us this season, and what a way to end this season. A bombshell to end it on. I thought Harvick got the championship, but wasn't enough. Loses out by 6 points to Jimmie Johnson. Congratulations to Jimmie Johnson. And that'll do it. See you all in Season 8 of the Verizon NASCAR Cup Series. And we will catch you then. Have a good one. And this is Casual signing off at the end of this season. Later.